Okay. I'm just gonna go ahead and get this started before I start talking. Get my character set up. I wanted something that would most likely not have a very good impact, or a very large impact on my game, or my computer, whatever it is. Something that wouldn't have a very large impact on my computer, and something that I can just not have to think about a whole lot while I'm talking, because I do want to talk about some things. And this is a first for my channel, I believe, so yeah. Let me just figure out my character before I start this. Okay. So, I haven't been posting a lot of videos on YouTube, and there is a reason for that. And it's the same reason why my room is a mess, why I can't get the energy to do anything. I'm just tired, like, all the time. All I can really do is play video games. I don't have a whole lot of energy for a whole lot else. Even if it is just chatting to people or, you know, making videos, I don't have the energy a lot of the times to do things like this. Okay, just making sure that this is actually recording. And I don't want your sympathy. I just want to explain that I'm not able to do a whole lot right now just because I straight up don't have energy for this shit. And you could say, you know, drink coffee, it'll give you the boost you need. Yeah, this might be true, but in the end, that's actually terrible for me because I'm actually, first of all, allergic for coffee, and it doesn't fix the main issue. Which the main issue is, I fucking hate where I live. I know that some of my family members watch these videos, so I'm sure that my family will end up knowing about this, but I just straight up hate where I currently live. I just can't stand the people I'm around most of the time. And this leaves me in a really unfortunate predicament because these are the only people I really have any social interactions with. I mean, I have online friends, but you know, you can't see the faces, you don't, you know, you're not able to go out for, like, food with them, you're not able to do things with them beyond online shit. Which makes it really hard for me to do stuff like this because, again, I constantly just have no energy for this shit. Which I would love to be able to do YouTube stuff, but I just can't ever get up the energy to do it. And I am trying. It's not like, you know, oh, I'm just lazy, which was what I was told all through school. I couldn't get up the energy to do homework. I've constantly been told I was very bright, but I just couldn't. I just didn't do anything in school. And this stems from the fact of I just really hate the people around me most of the time. I can't stand where I live. I can't stand the people I'm around. I don't have any friends. Yeah, that sounds really pathetic, but I don't have any friends beyond my internet friends. All I've got is people who I talk with on TeamSpeak. That's it. is, well, sad within itself, but it also puts me just in a really weird spot. I would love to actually be able to do something like this for a living. Yeah, I get it. I'm lonely and all this other bullshit, but playing video games is one of the few things I actually love to do. One of the few things I can actually get passionate about in my life. So, I would love to be able to do gaming stuff for a living. Because I've tried a lot of things to try to get passionate about several things. So far, there's only two things I've managed to find that I can actually get passionate about, which is video games and literature. Which, as much as I like literature, I love video games so much more. And the issue comes with, sometimes I just don't even have the energy to play video games. Like, it's this utter, like, weight that comes down and crashes down on your shoulders to where you don't even feel like standing up. That is what I constantly feel. Sometimes I just sit here watching YouTube videos all day long. I can't even get the energy up to play video games. And yes, I know it seems lazy, but it's what I deal with. I've been told that it's depression, and I've been told that I should get it checked out, but as of right now, I can't. Not because I don't know who to go to, who I should talk to, it's not because of that, it's because my family just straight up doesn't have the money. And I don't want people thinking like, oh, my family's so bad, I am dealing with an issue, and they're just saying, nope, deal with it. I'm not telling my family a whole lot about my issues, because I know for a fact they don't have the money to deal with my issues. We are barely managing to stay within our house and home as is. There's no way in hell that they can also deal with me going to a psychologist or whatever to fix my issues. Which puts me in a pretty awkward place, because the thing is in order to get out of this household, I need to make money. In order to make money, I need to get a job, which I need the energy to get up and go find a job. Key being the whole getting the energy issue. I just sometimes feel so much weight on my shoulders. I feel like sometimes that I should just disappear. I just should walk out of my home, never look back, and just leave. Yeah, I may be homeless, but at least I'm not here. Those are the thoughts that end up running through my mind. Which is very difficult to deal with, because this is my family. These are the people who I'm supposed to love, how they're supposed to have my back, and I'm supposed to have their back at any point in my life. And yet, I'm to the point of just walking out and just going, no, I'm done. I don't want to deal with this anymore. It's a very hard emotion to come to terms with on my own, which is why I'm talking about it right now. Again, it's a very weird emotion to deal with, because these are the people who, one of them saved my life multiple times. My mother, she took me away from a very bad situation in my life, and I love her very much, but I just can't deal with everything else in my life at this point. Now, before people go saying, no, this is not a suicide bit, no, this is just me trying to get shit off my chest so I'm not so weighed down all the time. I've tried dealing with this my own. I just couldn't end up dealing with it on the other hand. So I've tried and tried, but in the end I just couldn't do it on my own. Which actually make things a lot harder for me, because I always thought of myself as a strong individual. I didn't ever think that I would end up having to resort to something like this just so I would remain sane. I always thought that I was going to be strong enough on my own to be able to just deal with it and tough it out and not have to deal with not being able to handle this, and it's gotten to the point where I'm not completely sure that I can do that anymore. And that is the reason why I'm here today, talking to people on the internet as if they are my psychiatrist. All the while I play video games. Because in the end, as I've said, this is one of the few things I like to do. It's also one of the few things that actually allows me to feel more relaxed. And, well, in the end it does help me relax slightly, but it doesn't change the fact that the whole issue even exists in the first place. It's a never-ending cycle. My room, I believe I've said this already, is a fucking mess. I don't have the energy to clean it, because why bother? The rest of my house is just as messy. No one fucking tries to pick up after themselves. No one tries to do jack shit. My mother is the only one who actually tries to clean up this place. The issue being that she works security, and she works so long, and she works so much that she's just tired most of the time, and she can't put up with it either. And then we get things like my sister, who's an absolute bitch. She does stuff like accumulates a giant ass pile of clothes and then just leaves it in front of her door, just so everyone has to deal with it. And then you've got my siblings who constantly eat food and then just leave plates fucking everywhere. Just not even cleaning them off, just fucking everywhere. And it's gotten to the point where we have ants and other things coming into our house because they leave their shit out so much. And again, this is hard to deal with, because these are the people I'm supposed to love, the people I'm supposed to take care of and help out, have their backs, and in the end I'm just getting to the point of, fuck you, I hate you so much. And it feels weird, because it always feels like no one has my back. Which again gives this almost sense of like dread and constant like, why the fuck even bother anymore? Why bother getting up and cleaning your room if the rest of the house is going to be completely fucking dirty? Why bother getting up out of bed every day just so bullshit can happen and you end up back in that bed at the end of the day, nothing accomplished, nothing done? This is the first time I have ever actually talked about how I feel to an actual person. Well, quotations person. This is the first time I've actually vented my feelings like this. And I try to keep my feelings to myself because we were in a terrible situation before, and on top of everything, I have such a nice life now compared to before, and it's just like, it feels like I'm whining and complaining and being like a little bitch when I do this. So it's hard for me to muster up the courage and do this just because it feels wrong to me. Like, I shouldn't be bitching. I've got a nice life. Yeah, I may hurt every day. Yeah, it feels like I don't want to do anything. But in the end, it's still better than where I came from. Where I came from, the town where we used to live in, weekly disappearances would happen, and it was usual. And people would either, be found dead, be found, like, running away from the home because they hated where they lived, be found in other countries, or just not found at all. And compared to that, this is a peachy lifestyle. Like, this is like being the king of a country when compared to that. And it puts me in a weird spot when I'm to the point of just saying, fuck it, I don't want to deal with this anymore. 'Cause, yeah, it hurts. I don't like it. I just wish I could be gone. But at the same time, I'm still in a better position than I was in. In the end, now, still better than what I was before. I don't know. Maybe I should try again for this whole YouTube thing. I don't want to try for a normal job because in the end, I'll have to do the things that I hate doing in the first place. I hate the fact that in order to keep the peace in my house, I have to shut my mouth. I want to go over there and just not, like, fucking lay out my sister. Just hit her a good time, just knock her lights out. But that's not the type of person I am, first of all. And second of all, that would cause so much pain and misery in my family just from people end up hating each other, people can't deal with each other, people leaving, people not wanting to be with us anymore. And it constantly feels like, in the end, if I do anything, this household will fall apart, people's lives will be ruined, shit will just go south so quickly. And I don't want to be the cause of people's life going south. I don't want to see these people who I've protected for so long from beings of a previous life to just have their life being tossed away, just be some crazy person in the streets, being some hobo, being ended up killed for what, $5? Just because they are killing for $5, just because they have nowhere to go. Like, I hate these people. I despise them. But in the end, I still don't want to cause harm to them or have harm come to them because of something I did. Which again, puts me in a really weird spot because what I want to do is I want to hurt them because they're being assholes. They've done shit like... They've done shit like start an argument between my parents just so they can get entertainment. Yeah. In the end, I still have no idea what the fuck I should do. Should I just leave this house, go be a hobo? I wouldn't have to deal with this anymore. Or should I try to get a job and try to be the best person I can be? The issue with attempting to be the best person I can be is that I have to be around with these people for longer. People that I don't want to be around anymore. People that I just wish I could just disappear from, not have to talk to, just be gone. And I would end up having to rely on them more if I did that. I forget. Do I do this? Yeah, okay. I just sold all those, son of a bitch. Fuck. Oh well. Again, I know it's weird for me to try playing a video game while doing this at the same time, but this is what makes me feel the most calmest. And I know people out there will complain that I'm being a bitch, that I'm just complaining, I'm whining, blah 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 blah. But it's just so hard to deal with day after day, just hearing people fight, just having people yell constantly, just listening to people just hate each other and not and just continue living with each other as if nothing has happened. As I said before, my house is so messy. It's just my room. I just can't deal. What's the point when the rest of the house is even more dirty than my bedroom? What's the point when my sister ends up having rotting food in her bedroom just because she couldn't give a fuck about what happens in this household? The worst part is, my mother is also on edge. The person who took care of me, the person who ended up saving my life, saving us from disaster, is now on edge. She ends up drinking every day. Not every day, but pretty much every day. She buys a box of wine every week. Because by the week's end, it's out. It is hard for me to watch my mother doing this, just because she also hates the people around here. Because she can't stand that people do disgusting shit. And she can't stand the fact that her husband is... He's not being unfaithful, but he's doing a lot of shit that just she can't deal with. And I feel for her, but in the end, I have trouble dealing with my own issues. And it's hard to comfort somebody when you're also dealing with your own shit. Like, it's hard to tell somebody it's gonna be okay when you're not even sure if you're gonna be here by next week. You're not sure if you're gonna be in this household next week because you just might say, fuck it, I'm leaving. And it's so hard for me to just say, it'll be okay, let's calm down a bit. Everything will be alright, let's just try to get along with everybody. Let's just try to make sure everything's okay. It's hard to say those words to your own mother when she's drunk off her ass because she just has trouble dealing with the same issues you're dealing with. It's just so hard to deal with this shit. My mother, God bless her, she has her own breaking points, which she's gotten to several times, where she has told my sister, either you fucking shape up or you move out. And in the end, my stepfather ends up protecting her. And I cannot even understand how much pain my mother must be in just because my stepfather won't fucking take her side on shit like this. I've had people betray me a lot in the past, but to have my husband or wife betray me for something like that? Now, you might say betraying is taken a bit too far. It's not when he just goes behind the back and does stuff. And it may get to the point where I'm just gonna have to end up moving out just to keep my family safe from myself. It's getting to the point where I'm sick of this shit, and I'm gonna start knocking heads with people just if they start acting up again. If shit gets bad, I may end up in jail for assault or worse. Which is a feeling that crushes my soul. That I may end up hurting some of my family members because I just can't handle this anymore. And it just gets weird at points. Like trying to retain a smile, trying to be the happy-go-lucky guy that people can get cheered up by, when I'm probably one of the most saddest people in this house. I don't even have the energy to fucking argue with family members anymore. We get into an argument nowadays, I'm just like, you know what, fuck it, you're right, just leave me alone. It's been 8 hours, 30 minutes now, maybe I should stop talking to myself. Let me see if there's anything else I wanted to talk about before I end up in this video. I think that's pretty much it. I mean, I could just talk about more about how I constantly feel like the world is against me, how I'm constantly hated by even my family. Like, I swear my sister was trying to get me to commit suicide back when I was in middle school and high school and elementary, and that, to put it lightly, hurts and gives me an unbearable rage that she may be trying the same with my younger brother. She may be trying the same with my mother. And what pisses me off the most is my stepfather is wrapped around her little finger. He cannot see the bullshit that she is causing. And in the end, that is why my mother and my father sometimes end up butting heads. Or my stepfather, I should say. Simply because my father isn't intelligent enough to see when he's being used like a toy for her entertainment. Okay, I guess that's enough. Really? This is causing you to give high encoding? Just gonna have to wait until I can get another CPU then. Well, I guess that's enough of me complaining to nobody on the internet. Those are healing crystals. Okay, well, I think I had enough of talking to nobody on the internet. Let me just move that so that's out of this, well, mostly out of this thing. So, in the end, all I have to say is, thank you for watching, thank you for listening to me whine, and hopefully I'll be able to see you next time. Thank you and goodbye.